Hello and welcome to TV Box Top, the channel for the best reviews in TV boxes, mini PCs and accessories. For today's video, many of you have requested that I did a review on the latest Google Chromecast. Well, you asked for it and it's finally here. This is my review of the latest Chromecast with Google TV. My name is Nick, and in today's video, I have a full review and unboxing of this highly anticipated premium streaming device from Google. Please note, this is not a cord cutter video, as this device is heavily geared towards premium streaming services. So stay tuned, you have that and more right after this. Welcome back, and these are the contents of the box. You have the Chromecast itself, a wireless remote control with Google Assistant feature, a USB to Type-C charging cable, a power adapter, a startup guide and a warranty card. And now a look at its design. It's made entirely of plastic with the Google TV logo to the front. To the top, you have a flexible HDMI cable. To the other end, you have a Type-C port which is used to provide power and to interface with the device. And to the back, you have an LED power light and a reset button. And now a look at the wireless remote. It has a simple layout with a direction pad and OK button to the top. It has a Google Assistant button, a back button, a home button, a mute button, and dedicated Netflix and YouTube buttons. Below that, you have a power button, a microphone hole, and a TV input button. To the side, you have your volume controls, and it uses a pair of AAA batteries. So I'll set this up on my TV and continue. So I'm all set, and connecting the Chromecast to my TV was similar to how I would connect a TV dongle. The startup process, on the other hand, would be a bit challenging for some, as it includes the process of configuring the included wireless remote, connecting to your network, logging in to your Google account, and setting up the Google Smart Home feature. This process can take a little while, after which you are taken to the launcher. So this is the launcher, and at this point it would be incorrect for me to call it Android TV OS, since it has been updated and is now called Google TV. So what's the difference? The previous Android TV layout consisted of a vertical left panel that has now been removed in this new version. The vertical panel allowed you to access the app section and the Google Play Store easily. Instead, to the top you have a main menu including an apps tab where you can access your installed apps. To access everything else, you must navigate vertically or horizontally through the various menus. They encourage you to use Google Assistant to access most of the features in this new interface, with the exception of the settings area. For example, to access the Google Play Store, there is no shortcut for you to click on. You must use Google Assistant to open the app. Open the Google Play Store.
Opening Google Play Store.
This is the new Google TV version of the Play Store, and I was hoping that they would have made some changes by allowing more access to some of the apps and games that are available on the full mobile version. However, that hasn't changed. For those of you who are thinking about getting this device as an alternative to a regular Android TV box, please note, this carries the same version of the Android TV Play Store, and this interface does not use a navigation bar or status bar or encourages the use of mouse pointers. For pre-installed apps, when you are starting up for the first time, you are prompted to select from a list of premium streaming services that applies to your region. Please note, if you live outside of the US like I do, your options will be limited to those services that can work in your region. You can, however, get around this limitation with the use of geolocation from a VPN. To sideload your own third-party apps, I've seen various ways in other videos. How I do it is very simple and practical. I simply enable developer options in the settings area, Connect a Type-C hub to the Chromecast. Connect my mouse and flash drive that contains all my APKs. Install a file explorer from the Play Store. And install all my apps manually directly from the flash drive. You must, however, enable the ability to install from unknown sources for the Install File Explorer. And that's it, I can now install all my apps. So I've installed all my apps manually from my flash drive. But before I proceed, these are some of the features of this firmware. You have a 4K display up to 2160p at 60Hz and as low as 480p at 60Hz. You have HDR settings, but it's on automatically and there is no settings to disable it here. You have a gaming mode display feature, a system sound on-off switch, HDMI CEC options, and digital surround sound audio options. You also have the option to change and map the buttons on the wireless remote. Let's take a look at its system and hardware information. Under System, it shows that it runs on 2GB of RAM, which I would want to assume is DDR4 memory, but I cannot say for sure. And below here is the remainder of the 4.4GB of internal storage. The Bluetooth version is said to be 4.2, but don't hold me to that because I have no way of confirming it. The CPU, which is the Amlogic S905X3, is a 64-bit quad-core ARM Cortex-A55 CPU with a CPU clock range of 1.9 GHz configured in 32-bit mode. Below here, it shows that it has support for only 32-bit ABIs, which limits it to only 32-bit applications. Its display is powered by the Mali G31 GPU with a refresh rate of 60Hz and Open GLES version 3.2, which is good for gaming. Under Network, it shows that the 5 GHz band is supported. Under Android, it shows that the version of Android is Android 10, and it also shows that the Chromecast is not rooted. They have disabled the temperature sensor, so I cannot get a reading. Under Codecs, you have all the decoders for the playback of 4K media, and I see that they have Dolby Vision decoder in this list. So that's it for system and hardware information. Let's now take a look at its benchmarks. First, let's have a look at the Chromecast RAM copy speed and its internal storage read and write speeds. It has a RAM copy speed of 2843 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 66 megabytes per second and a write speed of 26. These scores are consistent with other S905X3 related models. Next, the results of the Wi-Fi bands and the Ethernet LAN test that I ran using the Type-C adapter. The results show that the Chromecast achieved 100% on the 5 GHz band and the 2.4 GHz band achieved 78%. When connected to my network via the Type-C port, I could only achieve 27% of my maximum bandwidth. So the Wi-Fi bands performing pretty well in this test. Next, the results of the Antutu benchmark. In this test, the Chromecast got a score of 83,875. This is a surprisingly good score and should see to it that it places well on the chart. Next, the results of the dedicated Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark. The Chromecast got a score of 884 single-core and 2,373 multi-core. For such a compact device, I'm really impressed with these results and those I'm getting thus far. The final benchmark revealed something very interesting about this device. In such a compact device, Google managed to include Vulkan support for the GPU, which qualifies it to run the Slingshot Extreme test. This means that we can expect some good graphics handling from this little device. In the 3D Mark Gamers Bench GPU benchmark, the Chromecast got a score of 5,871 in the iStorm Extreme test, 565 in the Slingshot test, and 371 in the Slingshot Extreme test with Vulkan support. These results are quite remarkable because only boxes running on the Amlogic S905X3 hexacore CPUs have Vulkan support. So however they implemented it in this box using Amlogic S905X3 chipset is quite an achievement. So that's it for the benchmarks, and let's see where the Chromecast places on the chart. So the scores are in, and what an amazing turn of events. The Google Chromecast is at position number 13, defeating every Amlogic S905X3 TV box on my chart and landing right below the Amlogic S922X line of boxes, making it the smallest and best S905X3 device for 2020 with Vulkan support. With that said, you can view this chart on my website in full spreadsheet format, where you can view the top TV boxes for 2020 along with price comparison links. See the link in the description below this video. So moving on. With a performance like that, I'm sure you're eager to know how it performs in areas such as streaming, 4K video playback, digital surround sound audio output, and 3D gaming. So I'll start with the selling point, which is its ability to run premium streaming services. But before I get to that, let's have a look at its root and DRM information. The Root Checker app shows that the Chromecast is not rooted, running on Android 10 operating system. Never mind the Oreo that you see here, it's a bug in the app that the developer never seems to want to fix. Seeing that it's manufactured differently from standard Android TV boxes, at this point I'm unsure whether you would be able to root this device or not. My safest advice is not to attempt it, as it will void your warranty and may damage the device. The DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 1 with HDCP 2.2 protection. This means that it has the digital rights along with full certification to play every premium streaming service in HD and 4K quality. Moving on to streaming, the Chromecast comes equipped with all of the digital rights and certification to play almost every premium streaming service you could think about. However, without the use of a VPN, only services that are allowed in your region will work. So these are the services that work in my region, which is outside of the US, and I have Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. And here you can see in the description that it shows in 4K HDR quality on both platforms. Due to recent developments, I'm unable to show any sample videos from these services. However, for more information on streaming, see the link to my blog in the description below this video. When it comes to YouTube, the Chromecast runs on an official version of Google TV, so YouTube videos in 4K 2160p is guaranteed. Also, while playing this video, the HDR icon was triggered on my TV, so YouTube has HDR display on the Chromecast. When it comes to casting, there's no other device more suited or qualified for high quality mobile casting than the Chromecast. Here I'm casting a YouTube video to the Chromecast in 4K 2160p quality. The same applies for premium streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. I will now test its 4K video playback capability by playing my list of 4K videos in HDR format.
only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what counts in the case of a tie on points. The mosaic of the Camp Nou and the Barcelona hymn being sung as referee Mateo Laoz prizing presence on the bench as well. Atletico playing in yellow, Barca in their traditional red and blue. Barca
So the 4K videos played okay. There was one of the videos that had some audio issues, and there was a slight stutter in the jellyfish video, but proceeded to play okay. Other than that, everything was fine, and the HDR icon was triggered on my TV. I now test for Dolby Atmos, DTS-X HD Master Audio THX, and Dolby TrueHD Digital Surround Sound Audio Output.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels.
Juries, executioners, judges.
Welcome to the inside of your head.
So this test shows that the Chromecast falls in line with all the other S905X3 models as it outputs Dolby Atmos, DTS:X HD Master Audio, and THX. However, it does not have Dolby TrueHD. For the final segment, which is the gaming segment, I connected my gamepad to the Chromecast via Bluetooth successfully and formatted a 32GB SD card to shared internal storage to help manage the low internal storage the Chromecast has. In the GPU graphics benchmark, the Chromecast had some great results with Vulkan support, so let's take in some gaming action. So there you have it. The Chromecast, though limited in its internal storage capacity, is quite an efficient gaming device. However, you would find that installing large games would be impossible because there isn't that primary storage capacity that the game detects upon installation. In summary, I would first like to say if you are thinking about getting the new Chromecast with Google TV, I highly recommend that you get one. As a YouTube creator in the field of streaming devices, I tend to focus primarily on hardware performance, benchmarks, and then I turn to operating system and firmware features. You will, however, in the future be seeing other devices running on Google TV, but what kind of performance will these devices have will be brought into question. I must emphasize how surprised I am of the hardware performance on the new Chromecast, its CPU speed, smooth seamless interface, and its powerful Vulkan GPU support that outperformed every S905X3 TV box to date. And keep in mind, this is on 2GB of RAM and 4.4GB of internal storage. So imagine, if they were to release a second model on improved hardware, what would the performance be like? And this wasn't even the selling point of this device. Keep in mind, the Chromecast is a premium streaming device capable of running every premium streaming service in HD and 4K quality with the help of the innovative Google Assistant along with smart recommendations. But as with all streaming devices, it does have some challenges. Firstly, because the operating system is Google TV, which is actually the evolved version of Android TV, it would not appeal to everyone in the streaming community as there are limitations to what you can do on it as compared to what you can do on the full mobile version. Secondly, the performance of the hardware is such that it would attract a lot of users to want to do more on this device. However, the limited 4.4 GB of internal storage restricts the activities on this device. And finally, for surround sound enthusiasts, though it can output lots of digital audio formats, it could not output Dolby TrueHD. So folks, there you have it, and I have come to the end of this review. It has been a truly remarkable experience evaluating the new Chromecast, and I highly recommend that you add one to your collection of streaming devices. With that said, if you would like to get your hands on the new 2020 version of the Chromecast, see the link in the description directly below this video. If you would like to view some bonus material not shown in this video, you can view it on my blog. A link to that can also be found in the description. Thanks for watching. I encourage you to give this video the thumbs up if you like the video and for such an amazing device. And if you are a first time viewer to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell before leaving to be kept in the loop via email when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. I have many more TV Box videos to release, so stay tuned and